O kanan mo dahil. Hindi, bilang o kanan mo. Bilang o kanan mo. Try siya ko kanan. Hindi na, hindi na. Sakit yan, part. Lagi? Manata ka. Wala kasi pro versus cheater. Legs. Ba't ka na Minecraft ba? Pro versus cheater. Pro. Cheater. Bihan na eh.
so this would be our network sample. So we have total of 3 routers. So we have one network here which is 172.20.1. Another network here 172.20.2.0. And another network here which is 172.20.3.0. This is the third network. The fourth network here is 192.168.0.0. And we have 2 VLANs networks. Okay. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ka network na lang. Okay. Excluding ka nung wala kung nakita. Physical network here. It's not included. Okay. So our goal here is to make PC0, PC1, PC2, PC3 ping between each other. Right. Okay. Sakto. PC1. This is 172.20.2.1. 255.255.255.0, 172.20.2.1. Verify 172.20.2.1. Then we have PC here belongs to VLAN 10. One eight, 10, sorry. It's 10.10.10.10. So subnet mask. Then the gateway .1. Verify 10.10.10.10.10.1. Sorry. This computer here is VLAN 20. 10.10.20.10 55.255.255.0 10.10.20.1. Verify again 10.10.20.10. So sakto. Gateway is done. Okay. So we're going to have a combination of use of static route, both static route also for this routing needed. Okay, but first let's populate first the interfaces with an address that is assigned here. Dapat mo ginayunahon. So this would be router 1. Assign the address. Later tamo ko mga static route. So completely. Then host name. Router 0. R1. Okay, so interface delivery port 0. The part that is IP add 172.20.1.1, then the subnet mask, no shut, interface delivery port 1. IP add, which is 172.20.3.1. Subnet mask. Any question you may ask right now? Okay, so take note now, we have a multi-router connection on this switch. Tulog router na connect. Wala ito, ano ko tang?
Oh,
overlap lang to, video. This is 172. 20.3.1 to show IP interface brief. 20.3. Thank you for that. So, active na doon kaling interfaces. So, active na doon. So, do show IP route. You will see here that two direct to the 20.3, 20.1. So, okay na ta sa R1. R2, two networks yapon, this network and this network. Interface gigabit port 1, gigabit port 1, prioritize or 0. Yes na to ah. So 0 ang ubos, 1 ang baba. 0, IP add 172.20.2.1, then subnet mask, and no shot. The interface gigabit port 1. This interface above. So this is F24. So 20.3.2, 20.30 mo siya, and that. Okay. So what we are doing first is just assign all the routers with the interface address. Kaya natin i-analyze ang mga routing or static route that we need for our router. Interface giving port 0, IP add this network, this is that 3, 172.20.3.3, and the subnet mask. No shot. Interface gigabit port 1, and address that 1.4.192. 168.0.1, then the subnet mask. Shot. So we done also for our 3 last router here. Interface gigabit port 0, IP add 192.168.0.2 here. Dapat sa kayo. And 255.255.255.0. No, siya. So how about this part? So this would be through sub-interfaces sa kong router. Okay, so natin ito kabilan. Then we need to do sub-interface configuration. So interface gigabit port 1. Sa port 1, ikaw lang mag-no shot direct. So enable our interface. Then interface gigabit port 1, then sub-interface. Let's have a 10 here for VLAN 10. Then IP add, which is 10.10.10.1, then subnet mask. Okay. Kailangan pa ito mag-encapsulation. That 1Q, so this is for VLAN 10. Then IP add then interface again, gigabit port 1, sub interface 20, then encapsulation, .1Q for VLAN 20, then IP address which is 110.10.20.1. Shut. So slash 24 tanan kami. Review na to. May host name. Okay. To show interface status. Interface. Show IP interface brief. Check na to. Physical interface and sub interfaces. So, in the week 0, 0.2, that's correct. Then sub interfaces na .1 and .1 for both different sub interfaces at 20 or 20. I mean 10 and 20. Okay? So, we have to configure VLAN here first since natay inter-VLAN routing here between. So, I hope kung mo kalimot. VLAN 10, name, VLAN 20, name, yes, sakto lang sa naming. So, exit, okay, interface gigabit port 1. So, conditional port, we have to do trunking, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk, allow VLAN, okay, allow 1, 10, and 20. Okay. Then interface port 1. This interface belongs to VLAN 10. Switch port mode access, switch port access, VLAN 10. Then other interface here. Support number 2. Switch port mode access, switch port access, VLAN 20. Okay. Show interface status. So we have trunk on the click 1 and VLAN 10 and 20 for both. Show interface trunk. Allowed ang dua VLAN. Okay. Okay, question. So before we proceed, we just added all the interfaces. Before we proceed setting up the static, we have to confirm this first that every host here can ping your gateway. Start from PC0 ta. So tagsa-tagsaon na lang host ng mga pings sa gateway. To make sure wala yung problem atong LAN, dito sa LAN. Okay. So IP config, so this is 172.21.10, kaniya ping. Ping. Base 20.1.1. So this one can ping our gateway. So may problem sa local LAN na to, settings. Whenever kita ka-ping, that means tayo problem atong connection padung sa router. So hindi kita ka-route beyond sa network since gateway alone sa kung outgoing router hindi sa taka-ping, then hindi kita ka have an access to other network. So this is 2.1. This type wala. Ayun. Hindi dapat ma-react. So let's correct this first. So reviewing is important. So 10 siya. So IP config. So 2.10, then 2.1. So ipingan na to ang gateway. Just to make sure that this PC can access the gateway. This should be our path going to any other network. So makaping ka. So diri na ta sa pagbilan mga devices. IP config. So this is 10.10.10.10. Ano yung ang 10.1. 10.10.10.1. So we can also do ping. How about the PC3 here? So ping na to 10, that 10, that 20, that 1. So we can also ping our gateway. May kaso na. Diba? May kasata na mag-check ta between connection sa itong mga router here. Okay? Pero for now, pili na tayo ito. Okay? So if ever natin save na IP settings, we can correct that if ever hindi na napili. Diba? So let's analyze here on how we're going to set up static route. So consider this siya as a small network because lumayra ng router. Lumayra ng devices na network. Diba? So let's say this one router, second router, third, and fourth. What router na yung manage? Okay. So let's start from the first network here. Okay. For this network, this router only have this route, directly connected routes, and also here. So to be able to access this network, dapat kanyang network asa ng router 1, kaning duwa ka network asa ng router 1. So kada importante ha, it's not necessarily na you need to have all the network here nasa R1. Importante, the router kaya ang goal is from PC0 to all of the PC here. What is important is the router have the route for this network 1 and 2 and 3. Kulura ang importante. Okay? You don't need to have a routing for this network. Okay? Even though that is remote, there's no destination host devices here. This is just an interconnection router. Okay? So kanina yung importante. Kulura. Okay. So, the best way here to use is we use static route. Okay? So one static route for this destination and two of each these two network. Okay? So dito pwede mo gamit na rin o default gateway because default gateway or default route na gateway only points to one direction. Since this network goes to the router 2 and this network, two networks goes to router 3. Okay? So, puro din siya static. So, let's add this one. So, IP route, just make sure these are all directly connected networks. Again, atong kailangan i-add is kanyang network because we have a host device here and this network also. Kailangan mga host din. Okay? So, to be able to know the router 1, ganito ka network, ako na sila i-add. So, kung 172.20.0, which is wala na siya 3, i-add it as a static and 3. So, IP route, then destination ng 192.172.20.2.0, then the subnet mask. Then the next hop. You can use here an IP next hop. Since di ba network ng fully specified static route, no? We have to use here IP next hop address, which means from R1 padung tani na network atong ilabay dito sa R2. So what is the R2 na interface address? So it is 172.23.2. So that would be the next hop na to. So 172.20.3.2, that is for the router number. Okay. So next is for these two networks. Okay. For the router 1 knows how to route for this destination, asa niya ilabay. So padung sa router 3. Okay. So from R1 to R3. So let's add that static route, IP route. Then ang destination here na network is 10. So 10.10.10.0. And 255.255.255.0. Then the next hop is the router 3 interface here that connects to the same network as R1 and R2. So this is 172.20.3.3. So this is that 3, this is that 2, this is that 1. Okay, so ito yung siya enter. Then we need to add also the other network on this VLAN. So VLAN siya. is IP route, then the destination network, 20.0, and the network, then the subnet mask. So subnet mask na slash 24. The next hop is the same, pareha sa kanina network. So for this network, it goes to the router 3. So router 3 interface address that is the port 0, which is 172.20.3.3. Question. Okay, from the router 1 point of view, ang importante na network na niya is this network, second, third, and fourth. Manas lang mga network. So do show IP route. Expected na to to look at static entry. So as you can see here, 2 static entry here, and another static entry here. Okay, then 2 directly connected networks. So actually, okay na siya. But we know that this is zero cannot be EMP to other devices because it needs to go both ways. So, router 2 na nasunod. Again, ang atong network or router 2, ang importante information is this network that has a host devices. Yung mga na usual na based on communication between devices, wala na yung mga destination na host ng network. Okay, so do show IP route. So ang natin na is 2 directly connected networks. So for this network and this network, so count na isa. Okay, so for the router 2, for this network na 172.20.1, it goes to R1. Okay, so add that static route, then which is 172.20.1.0, which is the network address of the network here on the left side. Okay, the next hop na to from R2 na point of view, yung ilabay nila sa gigabit interface 1 sa R1, which is 172.20.3.1. Question? Okay, for the other type, usually similar siya sa R1 na routing protocol, which is for these 2 network 10.10.10.0, 10.10.20.0, padung sa router number. Okay, so adding again static route 10.10.10.0/34. Then the next hop is 172.20.3.3, which is this router. Okay, doing it again also for 10.10.20 network. Okay, to show IP route, what I have expected na routing. Okay, the 2 VLAN networks and another network really on the left side, 20.1, that's already okay na. Okay, okay, here, direct. For this router to be able to route between these host devices, kanina po mga host devices ang kailangan na tunaan. Okay, so it has 3 different next hop IP. Para sa kanina network, it goes to R1. For this network, it goes to R2. For kanina network, it goes to R4. Okay? So muna ito ipag-add static route. To show IP route. So we have 2 directly connected networks. The 172.20.3.0, which is this one. The 192.168.0.0, which is this one. Okay, add ka rin muna. Okay, IP route, then 172.20.1.0, then the subnet mask. Then the next hop, the interface address of R1, which is 172.20.3.1. Question? Wala yung address up ang interface ng R1. The other side for this network, muna itong next hop IP. So IP route for the network of this one, 172.20.2.0, then the subnet mask. Then the next hop from router 3 patung sa R2. The dot 2 address, 172.20.3.2. the other side, katong naibilan, Inuwa ka network is through the R4 side. Okay? So, mag-add yung pag-start. Okay. IP route, then this tenant work, 10.10.10.10, 0, then subnet mask. Okay, pwede lang gamit ani o exit interface. Okay, so wata na to o exit interface here, gabit 0/1 as the backup. Okay, so whatever destination for this one, forward niya out for the interface. Gabit 1. Okay. Then another entry also for 10.10.20 network, same diya po ng exit interface. To show IP route, let's check the routing table. Again, natin yung pagka-network with host. So, kailangan na sa itong routing table here. So, we have static entry na 10.10.10, 0. Going out to interface 1, so that's correct. 10.10.10.20, 0. Going out to interface 1. And two static entry here, once we do 10.20 and 1. Goes to 3.1, this is this router. And 20.2.0 goes to the 3.2, which is this one. So, correct na. Question. So, ang network na kung kailangan na malaw between these four devices na nadaan today. Diba? So, magalat na ng slapping. Okay. So, kaning today, this is much more easier. If you're going to think about from the point of view sa R4, it has two networks connected directly here. And the rest of the network na kailangan communicate is within the one router ang destination, next hub. Okay? So, what we need here is just these two networks because these two VLAN is under niya. If ever you're going to do show IP route, directly connected ang duwa ka network at 10.10.20, 10.10.10.0. Okay? So, kanina ang duwa kung kailangan. Okay? So, ang pinaka-easiest ani is magamit natin po static route, which is any destination network na dili ka ni forward niya di sa R1, R3. Okay? So, para mas dali, para mas mubo, para ako isa ka static command ko na. Okay? So, IP route, ang destination will be 0.0.0.0, space subnet mask 0.0.0.0. So, kailangan din siya match. Okay? Then the next hop na to would be, you can use this as your next hop IP, which is 192.168.0.1. Which is the IP of this router. Okay? Question? Okay. To show IP route, just to check. So, there is only one static entry here, which is it goes to the R3. Whatever the network is, forward niya sa R3 kasi bahala to. So, question right now, can you really ping? Since every router here has the information of this network and this network, so actually, makapingan niya siya dapat. Okay? So, ping tap from PC 0 start. Ping atong PC1. Ping 172.20.2.10. Okay. So, dapat if ever diking ka ping, dapat i-trace na to. So, it goes here, router 1, then it goes here, router 3, then it goes back here, PC1, and then it goes back. So, ang involved sa troubleshooting in case na hindi siya ka-ping is between lagi natin path na itong point there. Okay? So, as you can see, we can also ping from PC0 to PC1. Okay? How about PC1 to PC2? So, ping again. Medyo layo din siya. Expect na sa first 4 packet, matrap din siya. Okay? Especially, wata na set of IP as next hop. Okay? So, this is 10.10.10.10. the IP of PC number. Okay? So trace na to from PC0 goes to the router, checking the routing table, forward entry, checking the routing table, dapat forward entry from R4 is connected to the VLAN. So it goes to PC2. Then this one again going back and the same path. So as you can see here, Duara day timeout. So Duara ka timeout. So we can already ping the PC1, PC0 to PC2. How about PC number 3? PC number 3 is 10, 10, 20, 0. So just edit third of 10. Let's ping this one. So same yapon ang process where goes to here, R1, then R3, then R4, then to the destination, then goes back. So makaping, again, makaping na ang PC0 to any of the devices. Okay? Pero kailangan natin i-distingan sa PC1, you can confirm that PC1 can ping PC0, kaya nakaping naman sa PC0 to PC1. Pero kailangan na mag-ping sa PC1 to PC2 and PC3 also. Okay? So this is a PC2. So PC2, PC1 din, PC2 ping that 10, that 10, that 10, that 10. So from PC1, it goes to R2, it goes to R3, goes to R4, then the destination goes back again. So dapat na ang pattern. Okay. So we can ping the 10, 10, 10. How about 10, that 20? Okay. So we can also ping that 20. So I think we're already good. Okay? I think kaninduha can already ping between. So ang atong i-test ang nila is between PC2 and PC3. Intermilan daw because from here, makaping naman sa both, which means from here, we can also ping the other level. Okay? So between aninduhan nila. So let's ping the other PC here. I keep on ping, then ping again, that 10, that 10, that 20, that 10. So ping kita. Okay? So ano na sa yun, di ba? So we have, ating summarize we use here a default static route because all of the destination of the network goes to this router. Okay. So this router has an exit interface specified sa ito static route, and we have a next hop for these two network from the R3. While R1 has 3 static entry for this network. Single saka static entry. This network also another one, and this network is also another one. Okay. While this router here has this entry of static route and the same route path for this. Question? Kaya na nino? Okay. Basta i-promo ninyo, you have to do trace route. Okay. In trace route, kita na to asa itong connect ng mga router or asa takuto. So the ping is from source to destination. So from PC0, if the destination of PC3, makaping galing. So pasabot kung dako sa siya. What if di ka-ping? So we have to use what we call the trace route. Tracer, okay, then the destination 20.10. So every time it hops a router here, makita nimo. Okay? So pasabot ani, if ever was the distance siya diri na part, pasabot ang kanina part na expected na router, wala siya ka-respond. Okay? Pero since makaping man diri, that means this router maka-access ta, maka-abot ta, maka-connect ta. This router also, this router, this router. So pagka-router diyan, di ba? So from PC0, this router is the first one. What is siya? First hop, first router. Second hop is the R3. This one, then the third router is kani, the third entry here. Okay. Then the last one is your destination, which is the host. Okay. So sa kanina example, we can also trace out sa tanan. Pero namito ng trace out case mag-troubleshoot ta na naay dili na ko makita. So asa siya kutob? Example like tantangan na ito dali example ito. No IP route. Tantangan na itong static route. So, istingan na itong trace route balik. So, syempre, hindi na nakaping sa 20. Request timeout na siya. Okay? So, ito lang i-cancel ang pinging trigger. Request timeout na siya. But when you do the trace route for that destination, you will see here as a photo. Okay? So, an example here, as you can see, as there is na pasabot, this is a request timeout. It doesn't goes back na itong ICMP na request. Okay? So, this is the first try, second try, and the third try. So, request timeout. So, dito na kutob sa 3.3. So, as of 3.3, this is the router. So, kanina siya naka-return pa pabalik. Pasabot, ang next ang problem is between 3 or between the second and the next sample or sa tirisan. Okay? So, it doesn't mean na wala yung problem ang R3 kaya siya may 3.3, di ba? Sa itong trace route, naka-respond ng 3.3. Pero if ever may problem rin siya, IP na pang-up, so kita sa R4, possible sa siya. So, kailangan check up sa siya and also the next router na kailangan na check natin. Okay? Okay, so balik ko na to. IP route. So, kaya siya maka-trace out sa ating. Okay? So, ato daw susunod, let's say, tangan na to o gateway. Okay, so kani, isa rin siya ping na side. If ever going to do trace out here, so naka-respond ang third router, pero wala na sa kabalik. Okay? So dapat ang tanaw ninyo, it's not the next hub or the next destination na expected, but you have to check also if it's a last and the next one. Okay? So you can see here, punto ba sa 192.168.0.2. Asam ng 192.168.0.2, this router. So you have to check the routing table, number 0, para na. Possible ang pabalik. Diba? Nana ang scenario ko dapat mo. Question. So request time out, ang balik para maka-respond. So kaya ito ang gateway. So kaya siya continue sa isa. Continue na tayo. Okay? Balik mo na ito. Okay? Question? So next week naman ninyo, okay, may klase Luis. Okay, klase na. Wala na eh. Ako nila naman tayo, may klase. So next week pa rin, Monday. Okay, so we have last nilagyan